All right, last one of the night, and I hope that we have saved a few zombies for us to kill too. But I brought my own zombies, so we're probably okay. My name is Jason Davis. My day job is Chief Information Officer of the Duluth campus, but I also teach Jujutsu and self-defense and have done so for several years here at UMD. And as I talk about Jujutsu versus zombies tonight, I'm going to have a couple of people demonstrating Jujutsu. I have my sensei, San Wessler. Other sensei at the same dojo is Ward Melanich. He wasn't able to be here tonight. And our senior student, Alan Richardson. And we have several other Jiu-Jitsu students from the dojo, the Kyoryukan and Duluth Judo Club about 10 minutes down the road, and from the UMD Jiu-Jitsu Club and self-defense class. So a little bit about the style of Jiu-Jitsu that we practice. It's called Danzan-ryu Jiu-Jitsu, founded in the 20s. Like most versions of Jiu-Jitsu, came out of Japan from Judo. And Ju means gentle, Jitsu means art. There's a big emphasis on grappling, but we do everything. We have a class and club here on campus and a local dojo. We do all of these things. We strike, we do escapes, rolls and falls, holds, joint locks, chokes, throws. We use weapons. We're not going to show all of those things tonight because we don't have time. So we're going to, and you will see strikes and escapes. They'll just be blended in with some of the other techniques, and will stay away from weapons tonight because the whole point here is you've run out of bullets, your sword's dull, now what? So I don't have to spend too much time telling you about zombies because it's been covered very well by the faculty this evening. But we will say that we're mostly looking at the Living Dead, Walking Dead style zombies. You will see one fast zombie. It's easier to show you how the techniques work if we keep the zombies a little slower. So first thing that I want to demonstrate is rolls and falls. We do these to absorb or avoid damage and to create distance from our opponents and hopefully be able to return to the fight or last through the fight. And so at this point, I'd like to Alan, this would be a good time to demonstrate something. All right, thank you for that demonstration. So Alan demonstrated a front roll and a back roll, and pretty good tactics. It allows you to continue not to be the slowest human in the herd, and that means that you live on to fight another day. So rolls and falls, good skills to have against zombies. Now let's talk about holds. So holds are pinning people, using leverage to control people, and you're trying to coerce somebody into something, or often you're trying to set up for another technique like an arm bar or a choke, which we'll talk about in a minute. So we're going to show a couple of holds. This time San's going to show one, and then Alan will show one. San's going to show us Tataki Komi, hammering into. All right, and as promised, one fast zombie. Thank you, San. And now Alan's going to show us Shi Hogatami, the four corners hold down. Oh, that's not good, Alan. So normally against a human, that would be a great way using your body to hold down a person. So I guess hold downs are a little mixed. The Tataki Komi from San, there wasn't any pain compliance there, but good control. Shi Hogatami, not so good against zombies, could lead to a loss of intestines. So let's move on to joint locks. So joint locks are something that we use with pain compliance. It's very painful to have your wrist or arm, for instance, locked out. And what we're hoping to do is coerce somebody, control them, maybe get them to submit or even injure the limb and incapacitate them. So we're going to see a couple of joint locks demonstrated against zombies now. We'll start with uditori, which means arm break or arm breaking hold. Oh, that's problematic. All right, let's see if Alan does better with moro ubitori, multiple finger break. Oh, also problematic. Although very great performances by the zombies, I think we should give them all a hand. No, I meant the one that's laying on the mat there, Alan. Give him the hand. So joint locks, decomposition becomes a problem. No pain tolerance becomes a problem. A little bit of leverage-based coercion, but really not a great solution. And so I think we're going to move on and say joint locks, not so much. Oh, sorry, this came from a different slide deck. I don't know how that got in there. Different talk. So now let's talk about chokes. Chokes are also about pain compliance and leverage, but there are special aspects to a choke with the blood pressure that I'll talk about in a minute. What we hope to do with a choke is we want to control, we want somebody to submit, or we want them to be unconscious when it's all said and done. So let's talk a little bit about chokes. A blood choke is what I'm talking about here, more of a strangulation and not a trachea choke. So if you think about where the Frankenstein bolt would be on your neck, you have a structure there called a carotid sinus where the arteries and veins split from one into two. Something goes on the outside and something goes on the inside. And right at that sinus, if you put the right amount of pressure, you can make somebody unconscious in 2 to 4 seconds. So this isn't like choking somebody's air off and they can hold their breath for a minute or 2 minutes. This is changing the blood pressure in their brain and knocking them out very quickly. Sometimes we see it happen in judo tournaments before they hit the mat mid-throw. So we'll show you a couple of chokes and see how they work on zombies. We're going to start with Gyaku Eri Jime reverse lapel constriction. All right. As you can see, 2 to 4 seconds passed. The zombie is still moving. So Alan, why don't you see if a Sankaku Gatami triangle choke, maybe that'll be a better choke to use on a zombie. Okay. Oh, all right. So the strength of that choke is you get to use your entire body to choke, which is great against a human, not so great against a zombie. So I guess Gyaku Eri Jime, we got a little bit of control, but obviously no choke. And Sankaku Gatami, I'm sorry about your femoral artery, Alan. See if we can get that replaced. I am next in line to be senior student, so this could all work out. So now we're going to talk about throws, and this is really what judo and jiu-jitsu are known for, throws and groundwork, which the groundwork didn't look great against zombies. We'll see if the throws are better. Throws have various aspects, and we are very obsessive compulsive about how we think about throws. They have timing, which is all the Japanese terminology. Ski is timing, kazushi is the off-balancing of the leverage, sukuri is the fitting in, kime is the throwing action, and kake is the finishing action. What we want is we want to knock somebody down, we want to cause damage to them, we want to create distance between us and them. Those are the outcomes we're looking for with throws. So let's look at a couple of throws. First, we're going to look at some rear throws. We'll start with the Shiro Dakinagi rear embrace throw. All right. And then let's have a look at a different rear throw. Let's look at Ushiro Osagami Nagi, rear head holding throw. Rear head holding throw. All right, before we move on to talk about how those worked. Let's look at some other throws. We're going to start with osotogari, a reaping throw, big outside reap. And next, let's look at some dropping throws, or otherwise known as sacrifice throws sometimes. We'll talk about taiotoshi, body drop. So maybe zombies do feel pain, just a little bit. Maybe just some zombies keep that capacity. So now you're going to see Yoko Tomonagi side circle throw. And then finally, we're going to take a look at Tomonagi circle throw. All right, so, whoops, sorry. Get that back. Son, could you take care of that for me, please? All right. So, in conclusion on throws, timing, different on zombies, but definitely something that could be dealt with. Kazushi off balancing, I think a little easier when you're shambling and your posture is so upright, movement is limited. The scurry, the fitting in, was very perilous. You saw the result, unfortunately, for Alan. Kime, throwing action, similar on zombies. And the kake, the finishing, where you end up is very perilous on zombies. So you don't want to be connected to that zombie at the end of the throw. So modes of jujitsu versus zombies, I think we can conclude that rolls and falls are a good thing. Being not the slowest human in the herd, you won't end up like Alan if you can roll and fall and stay away from zombies. Holds were not very effective. Joint locks minus pain and with decomposition issues, not so good. Blood chokes, without a working circulatory system, that's very problematic to make a blood choke work, and too close. And finally, throws, getting them down, creating distance, creating damage, that looked pretty effective. So, special thanks to all of my participants here, either from the Unicon Duluth Judo Club or from Jiu-Jitsu Club at UMD. Also, thank you to Amy Norden, who is doing our video capture work tonight. Thank you so much. And makeup by Helene and Harley. Very nice job on the zombie makeup. One last caution, do not try anything that you saw tonight unless you are under my direct supervision. And let's wrap this up and have a round of applause for all of the great presenters tonight. Excellent job. Good.
So thank everybody for sticking around. I know we ran a little bit late. We didn't have time for questions, so if there were any burning questions, I think the presenters will hang around down here in front. But if not, again, thanks for coming on. I wish you all a very happy Halloween.